Okay. And then we're going to do apt upgrade. Anyway, this generally takes a few minutes or so. The next thing we're going to install is going to be Apache. Then we'll go through the process of installing MySQL. And then finally, we'll put PHP My Admin on there. We'll get VS Code going after we get PHP and all that stuff on there as well. I forgot that we're going to install PHP. I'm going to just pause this and I'll resume when the rest of it finishes. Okay, great. Now that that's done upgrading what we have so far, we're going to do apt install dash dash classic code. Oh, it's snap. I'm sorry. Snap install. And this is going to give us VS Code. Great. So that's installed. We can check that. There it is. So I'm just clicking this Show Applications button right here. And I'm going to add this one to favorites. We'll get to VS Code in a little bit. We're going to finish installing everything else first. One of the things that I want to do before we get too far along is I'm going to go in my devices right here up top. And I'm going to insert this guest editions CD image. Just give it a sec and it should prompt you with this. You want to run this. This is going to allow us to be full screen. You're going to put in whatever password you have. Authenticate. And you'll have to restart the computer, which is fine. We can do that in just a little bit. I'm going to close this window. We're going to do apt install, apt get install, get dash install. There we go. We're going to get PHP Apache 2. And we're going to do, yeah, we will have to go through a prompt for Apache. That's fine. Oh, sorry. The dash is right there. That was my mistake. Yes. Sometimes it's caused it to freeze for me if I put the -y flag on there with Apache, because there is an actual prompt that you have to go through where you set up some of the stuff. Sometimes you don't have to go through it. It generally sets up like the time zone and a few other things, but that's fine. Okay. we're going to restart this now. I'm going to pause this and come back when it's all up and going and when I've already logged in. Okay, now we should be able to change the view to be full screen. Sometimes you may have to play around a little bit with some of the view options. Make sure that auto resize guest display is clicked, and then you should be able to go into full screen mode and everything should be hunky-dory and natural. You may need to play around with the resolution if you're on a Mac, just a heads up. We're going to pull open a terminal again. I'm going to go into the super user mode again, just because I don't want to have to forget putting sudo on there. As soon as I'm done in this mode, I'm going to get out. We're going to go and start installing a few other things for PHP. So we're going to do apt-get install. I have a couple of them written down here from my other one. So you can go ahead and freeze the screen for a minute. And these are some of the ones that we're going to use. It's going to be this MySQL server. We already have Apache 2, we already have PHP, we already have Git. So it's going to be MySQL server. And then this string of PHP ones right here. And those are just going to facilitate us using the rest of the services on our LAMP server. And then this is for when we actually go through the installation for MySQL server, which you need to have on there before you can go to this step. Okay. So first thing we're going to get is going to be MySQL-server. It's going to be php-mb string php-zip php-gd. There is a little bit of overflow here. I'll try and blow this up a little bit so no one gets confused. php-json, which is a kind of object format. It's for sending and receiving information. It's very useful. I don't believe we will be getting to that. I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure we don't. And let's see. Yeah, that should be it. Oh, and then what is it? Software common. We'll go with this one for now. I just need to look up one really quick. Common. Software properties dash common. Software dash properties dash common. That's the other one. So I'm going to also do apt get install software dash properties dash common. It's going to be a yes. This is a bit of a bigger one. Okay, great. And then we're going to do apt update dash y, two and signs, two ampersands, and apt upgrade is a yes. Anytime you install some more software or packages like this, just make sure that you don't have anything else that needs to be updated or upgraded. And then we're going to do apt clean and apt auto remove. And that'll just help you kind of keep everything clean and nice. All right. Now we're going to do the secure MySQL installation. So MySQL _ secure _ installation. You're going to say yes to pretty much all of these prompts, except for one where you're going to put 0. And I'll show you that right now. So this is just improving password security. You need to have a password for your MySQL database, and we're going to be using that throughout the semester. So we're going to choose low. In our case, you would want it to be strong. So this means that it needs to be greater than or equal to 8 characters long. So CS230 lab is exactly 8 characters. So that works. So CS230 lab. And I did all lowercase. I would recommend doing the same as well so you don't forget. We're going to say yes. And the rest of these prompts are for just increasing security, preventing people from logging into and using your database remotely, removing anonymous users so that someone has to be signed in order to actually make any changes or do anything with their databases. And then the last one is just to reload everything to make sure everything is all good. So your MySQL installation should be pretty good. Let's see. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to install phpMyAdmin. So apt get install phpMyAdmin. That's going to be a y-y. There should be a prompt on this one because it relies on your MySQL database. It's going to ask you for a password. For this one, you're going to hit the space bar when the red block is right next to the Apache 2 because we're using Apache 2 as our database. And then you can hit enter and it should go on to the next step. You're just going to hit yes on this one. This password is important. It's the same one that your MySQL database uses. So in my case, it's CS230 lab. You don't need to use the same password as I used when you're going through this. Just it helps for consistency, and it's the one that I'll be referencing throughout this course. So make sure that it's the same. Make sure that you don't have caps lock on accidentally or things like that, or it'll cause problems. After that, we're going to just do a little test here. We're going to do system CTL, system control, and it's going to be status Apache 2. So this is running, which is good. We're going to do restart though. So we're just going to hit the up arrow on our little direction pad right there. And we're going to do restart. So systemctl restart Apache 2 because we have our phpMyAdmin on here now. And we'll just check to see if Apache is up and running and everything is good to go. So the way that we check to see if phpMyAdmin is up is we go localhost. This should, if you just do localhost, this should pull up the Apache default web page, and it does. So we know that Apache is good. And then when we do localhost, localhost /phpMyAdmin, it should take us there. Now the username for this is phpMyAdmin. Normally you would want to change the default. It's another security thing. And then this is going to be the password that you put in here, CS230 lab from me. Don't save it. And this is where we'll be putting our databases. This semester we'll be creating a database, and we'll be adding tables, and then we'll be able to export all of our stuff. It's called our database schema. It's basically the structure and format of everything in our tables as we go along. So that's up and going. We've got MySQL. That's good to go. We've got Apache. The last thing that we need to do is handle our VS Code. And we'll set that up right now. I'm just going to show you a bunch of the extensions that are going to be useful. I'll be highlighting these throughout the course. We're going to be grabbing some PHP stuff in here. So when you first come on to VS Code, this little blocked icon right here, this is extensions. You can hover over these things and see what's going on. When we have a Git repo, we'll be able to clone that. Anyway, so the extensions we're going to be looking for first are going to be related to PHP. So we'll take a look at those right now. The first thing you're going to want to get is IntelliSense. Then debug, the extension pack. So 2, 3, and 4 right here. And then format HTML and PHP. This basically allows you to clean up everything nice and neat. And then PHP server. Okay. It should be a pretty quick install. These aren't very big files or anything. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go and grab PHP sample. And it doesn't actually matter which one you grab. We're going to just do file upload, that's fine. This is just on W3 schools. And I'm gonna just copy that like the thieves that we are. We also are going to make a new folder on here. We're done with this terminal, so we're going to get out of there. We're going to create a new folder on here, and this is going to be our lab folder. And this is just on the desktop, so it's nice and easy for us to locate. We're going to open this folder up. We are going to go onto our desktop, click on lab. We're going to click OK. Now you'll notice that this is our folder right here. This is our lab folder. There's this little create new file button right here. And I'm just going to call this one test.php. And we're going to just paste our stuff right there. And then I'm going to try and serve this project. And it worked for me right away. It may ask you where your PHP location is. I also didn't save this. There we go. There we go. So just reload that. And as you can see, we have our PHP stuff on there. We'll get to more of that a little bit later. Okay. What you're going to do right now is you're going to go in your GitHub. Now my GitHub uses my personal email address. I'm just going to spam you all if you send me anything. So don't email this. Oops, if I can spell correctly. Okay, and I'm gonna create a, actually I should have my repository on here somewhere. Where is the CS230? There we go. All right, neat. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna basically just copy all of this. And when I go in my Git over here, this is your source control. Source control is synonymous with GitHub. In this case, we're going to initialize this repository. You're going to put in a commit right here after you add all this stuff. The message is just going to be initial. What we're going to do is we're going to go into our terminal. And we need to actually set a few things. We need to set the global Git stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our username and a few other things. So we can open up a terminal in VS Code, which makes it super handy, and another reason why I really like it. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to go git config -- global, and then it's going to be user.name. And in quotes, it's going to be whatever your GitHub username is. So in my case, it's syndicate. And I'm going to just hit the up arrow because I'm going to do a very similar thing. This is going to be my email. And totally doxing myself right here, but whatever. Guess I'll just change the email if I have to. And there we go. All right, cool. So now, we are going to remove these lines right here, the first 3 lines. And we're going to copy that, delete it, and we're going to paste. Delete master, or sorry, delete main. Okay, fine. We'll do git add dot here in the terminal. Git commit -a for all, -m for message, and it's going to be initial in quotes. And then git push origin master. And then you're going to allow sign in. It's going to pull up this. You'll have to put in your username and password, or your email and password, whichever one you prefer. Syndicate for me. Maybe it's capital, doesn't matter. All right. And then after you do that, it should be good to go. If we go back to our GitHub, we refresh, we should see that test.php. What you're going to copy and paste and give to me is right here. This link, the HTTPS one. You may use SSH when you're in one of Dr. Reeser's classes, but you'll be using HTTPS for me, so I can just click on the link and go. Okay? So when I ask you for that in eCampus on the survey, which I will pull up right now. On the very bottom, this is what you're going to paste in there for your final answer. Whatever the link is for your particular site. Okay, it is a capital S. I just messed that up. Whatever, that's fine. Okay, that's it. That's it for the first lab. Make sure that everything's all set up. Ask me if you have any questions. Have a good week.